First pitch on the way to Willard now. And that's a called strike. Caitlin maybe getting a real good bead on that strike zone of John Bennett.
Plus, it's something that was very encouraging that Coach Tarr said heading into this regional is that Caitlin doing a much better job of hitting her spots. That's what she's been focusing on, and that makes a big difference at this level.
Swing and a miss by Willard, and Inglesby out in front of the hitter 0-2. Caitlin, the only player on the Huskies this year that was named the winner of an in-season award. She was the Pac-10 Pitcher of the Week from March 14th through the 18th.
It won't be her last one, I'll guarantee you that.
You have to agree with that, because the pitch is a little outside, 1-2.
It's fun watching Shauna Wright catch against these Cougars with a runner on base. She is hopping around on each and every pitch, not knowing if the Cougars are going to send that runner, and she is definitely ready to make the throw if called upon.
Let's see if Inglesby can finish off the hitter right here. She's out in front 1-2. The pitch is swung on. Ground ball right side goes to Nikki Williams. She'll turn and throw to second and get the lead runner feed to. That's where Jen Salling was waiting for the throw to record the out. So a fielder's choice hit into by Willard, forcing feed to at second base. Score at 3-6 for out number 2. And now Alexandra Hudson to step in.
I must say, I had to hold my breath on that play because of the speed over there at first base. But Nikki made the right play. Nice strong throw to Jen to get the lead runner. That's what you want to do, keep that lead runner off the base paths.
So Alexandra Hudson, left-handed hitter up there now with 2 out and a runner on at first. First pitch from Caitlin is going to miss inside. The Cougars have players from 9 different states on their roster. That includes the state of Washington. They have 1, and she's at the plate right now, Alexandra Hudson. A sophomore out of Everett. She went to Everett High School. Here's the next pitch from Caitlin Inglesby. That's going to miss outside this time, 2-0. 9 different states. That's like Notre Dame. They always have like players from everywhere.
Stanford, national recruiting base.
Sure.
Those are the types of schools. And obviously BYU, being a religious school, is able to pull from across the country.
Next pitch swung on. Chopper hit to Maggie Wagner at second. She gloves it on after several hops and throws out the base runner for out number 3. So a little bit of a threat by the Cougars here in the second, but it goes by the wayside. And we'll go to the third inning with the score. Huskies nothing, BYU nothing.
Fire sprinkler systems are reliable, economical, and proven to be the best way to protect your family and home. Don't take a chance on losing your home, your possessions, and even your loved ones. Contact Nortec Fire Protection today. With years of experience, they're experts in design and installation of quality fire sprinkler systems. Whether it's commercial, residential, or industrial applications, they are your solution provider. Contact them at 888-995-9900 or visit them on the web at nortecfire.com.
If your attic or crawl space has been damaged by smoke, water, mold, or rodents, the last thing you want to do is crawl around trying to clean it up. So call Clean Crawls. We specialize in crawl space cleanups for commercial and residential accounts. Whether it's lower crawls or attics, we feature insulation removal and installation, vapor barrier removal and replacement, and odor elimination and sanitizing. Let us know how we can help you. Find us online at cleancrawl.com.
Here we go to the third inning. Still a scoreless ball game between Washington and BYU. These two teams in the winner's bracket of the Seattle Regional. The winner leapfrogs right into Saturday and the championship round. The loser has to come back and play a second game tonight, which is scheduled to start at 8 o'clock. I'm Mike Brown along with John Colley. We're live here at Huskies Softball Stadium on another glorious day in the Seattle area. Mother Nature just filling up the field here with sunshine as we go to the third inning. The Huskies sending up their number 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the lineup. Victoria Hayward to be followed by Kimmy Pullman and Jen Salling. Huskies have won 3 of their last 4 games after yesterday's 6-2 victory over Portland, but they've lost 5 of their last 8. So I guess you could say it's a team maybe trying to find something about themselves here as they work in the postseason now. First pitch on the way to Hayward. She runs up on one that's high and outside, 1-0.
Compare that to BYU, who's won 27 of their last 29 games, including wins over Hawaii and number 9 Cal with Jolene Henderson in the circle.
Wow. The pitch, a called strike, makes it 1-1. They've won 4 straight. Also won 31 of their last 34 as BYU. They are the champions of the Mountain West Conference for the 3rd straight year. The pitch, there's a change. That's in for a called strike. Makes it 1-2 on the freshman Victoria Hayward.
Again, that change-up just changes speeds, but the other really impressive part is how she throws it for a strike and moves it so much.
Victoria going to be ready right here. There's a swing and a miss, and she strikes out, leading off the top of the 3rd inning. We can go to the top of the lineup now for Kimmy Pullman. 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Paige Affleck. Pullman got the first hit of the ball game. She led off the game with a sharp line drive single to left field going the opposite way, but then was caught attempting to steal 3 pitches later. They're trying to do it again. Tries to bunt her way on and fouls it off, so the count 0-1.
Nice job by Kimmy, who was attempting to bunt and was able to stay back on the changeup. And it's just that it floated too high up. She still was able to get her bat up to the ball, but the fact she wasn't out to the pitching circle by the time the ball got to the plate was impressive.
Pullman leading the Huskies with a .441 batting average. Next pitch to her now, and that one misses outside 1-1. Kimmy 1 for 3 with a run scored in yesterday's ball game. Also stole a couple of bases. She's a first-team All-Pac-10 selection and a first-team All-Pacific Region selection as well. The pitch. Called strike again, 1-2, and I think Affleck's got a pretty good beat on that strike zone of John Bennett.
Kimmy called by Heather Tarr the most underrated of the Huskies. And again, because on a national level, not getting the exposure she deserves and invites to the national team.
Swing and a miss on the next pitch, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Paige Affleck here beginning the 3rd. So with 2 down, it's up to Jen Salling to try to get something going.
You get a pitcher who's able to change speeds and use both sides of the plate. You've got to come in with a very disciplined plan and execute that plan. They get to the 2 strikes, you got to protect the plate. She's just painting that inside corner.
First pitch to Salling, way inside, almost hit her. And the count 1-0. So Affleck doing the job in the circle. She is not only the all-time career leader in wins for BYU, she's the all-time career leader for wins in the Mountain West Conference. Next pitch just misses. It's 2-0 now on Salling.
And BYU last year was in a super regional and gave Arizona all that they could handle in that super regional. And Paige Affleck was the reason. She was the main pitcher that they rode that far last year.
Next delivery now from Affleck. And that's a called strike. Make it 2-1 on Jen Salling, who worked the count full last time up before flying out the left field. BYU, this is just the 12th year of this program. They're having quite a bit of success. Next delivery. A called strike again. Salling wanted to pull the trigger but couldn't do it. 2-2.
Again, Bennett showing he's got that higher strike zone. He's calling them up at the letters. He doesn't call them below the knees like you normally see for softball umpires.
Next pitch from Affleck. Change, swung on, and there's a little blooper hit to short. And running it down easily is J.C. Clayton in a 1-2-3 inning for Paige Affleck here in the 3rd. We play 2.5, and we'll go to the bottom of the inning with the score. BYU nothing and Washington nothing.
Many of us are making the decision to stay in our current home, even though it's not quite our dream home. SBH Builders can help. We offer over 50 years of experience in remodeling, additions, and restorations. We provide our valued customers a quality product at a fair price. You can see our work online at sbhbuilders.com. That's sbhbuilders.com. Let us help turn your current home into your dream home. We are SBH Builders, and we're proud to support the Diamond Dogs.
Neighbors are great sources of advice. It's no different when it comes to your health. You just need to talk to the right neighbor. Like your UW Neighborhood Clinic, part of the UW Medicine Health System. Take it from Steph Walker, who breathes easier without the bronchitis. Or the Renoir family, whose girls have their annual checkup every November. You'll find 7 UW Neighborhood Clinics across the Puget Sound region. UW Medicine Health System. From here, we change the world. Read more stories at uwmedicine.org/stories.
Well, the Huskies get shut down offensively once again, so now they got to throw some leather at the BYU Cougars, and so far it's been working out pretty good. Scoreless ball game as we go to the bottom of the third inning. BYU to send up hitters number 8, 9, and 1 against Caitlin Inglesby, the tall right-hander from the Rose City of Portland, Oregon. She's got her warm-up throws all in, and now ready to go to work here on Stacy Graham to lead things off for BYU. Huskies have had base runners in the first and second before going down 1-2-3 in the third. Caitlin Inglesby shut down BYU 1-2-3 in the first, but then allowed her first hit of the ball game as Jessica Fitu led off with a ground ball back up the middle, leading off the second. However, Caitlin got the next three hitters and kept the Cougars off the board. So let's see what happens here as Graham, another left-handed hitter, will step in there against Inglesby. There's Caitlin's first pitch now, swung on and grounded hard but foul up third base line. Went right on by Gordon Eakin, now in his 9th year heading up the BYU program. He's done an outstanding job. His career record is 370 wins, 158 losses. That's a winning percentage of .701.
That's impressive for a program that's so young.
Next pitch on the way, and that's low and outside, 1-1. Yep, Eakin is the Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year as well. So they easily won their conference, going 11-2. Next pitch on the way, swung on. One hopper hit the Morgan Stewart at third. She'll glove it and throw quickly over to first base for out number 1. A score at 5-3, and it brings up Jessica Dugas. Well, folks, we got a scoreboard to get updated here, and John's been just fervently making sure he knows what's going on all around the country. There's 15 other regionals. John, why don't you start getting us updated?
Well, and following the Pac-10 is what we're going to do, and there's 3 Pac-10 teams that have already completed play today. We'll start in the Gainesville region where UCLA took on Jacksonville from the Atlantic Sun Conference. They won that game 2-0.
Jessica Dugas is the hitter, and she bunts one foul, 0-1.
Remember, these are all first-round games because they're just starting today, unlike our regional, which started yesterday. And Florida currently leads Bethune-Cookman. It's 4-0 in the bottom of the second, so it looks like we're headed to a UCLA-Florida matchup tomorrow.
I don't think anybody's surprised about that. Count is 0-1 on Jessica Dugas, the number 9 hitter. And the next pitch from Caitlin Inglesby is low and outside, 1-1.
I think the surprise may be that Jacksonville put up a big fight with UCLA. Just a 2-0 victory for the Bruins. Then at the University Park bracket, which is in Penn State, Oregon beat Albany 3-1. Jessica Moore threw the complete game there.
Next delivery, run up on, but wisely letting it go is Dugas down low, 2-1.
And we already know who Oregon is going to play tomorrow. They'll play Fordham, where Jen Minot threw a complete game shutout at Penn State. So Oregon and Fordham tomorrow in Penn State.
Infield playing in all the way around for Washington as the next delivery is swung on and missed to make it 2-2.
And the number 7 region in Louisville, hosted by Louisville, where Cal's the number 1 seed. They beat Jacksonville State of the whole Ohio Valley Conference 6-3. It was 6-0, and Jacksonville State got 3 runs in the top of the 7th, but Cal prevails 6-3.
High and outside on the next delivery to move the count full on Jessica Dugas.
The other games, Arizona State will play this evening at 5 o'clock, be taking on North Dakota State. Tucson hosting, Arizona hosting a region. They'll be playing Harvard tonight at 5:30. And Stanford also hosting a regional. They'll be playing Pacific at 6 o'clock.
Swing and a miss on the full count pitch, and Caitlin Inglesby finally puts out the fire of Jessica Dugas up there for her second strikeout of the ball game. 2 out, nobody on as we go to the top of the lineup for Christy De La House.
Pac-10 looking good here in the first round. And again, the first-round games in regionals aren't what they used to be. They're close. They're a deep distance the country. Makes this time of year that much more fun.
One ball hit hard, but right at Maggie Wagner at second. She'll turn and throw to first, and just like that, another 1-2-3 inning for Caitlin Inglesby. And just like that, we're done with 3 innings of play here at Husky Softball Stadium. We'll go to the 4th with the score: Washington 0, BYU 0.
Over 20 years ago, Mortgage Mart was founded on this concept: do your best for your customers, treat them like friends, and feel good about what you're doing. Things have changed tremendously over the years, but the concept at Mortgage Mart has stayed the same. We care about you and want you to save time and money. Competitive pricing, low overhead, no extra fees, and a staff willing to go the distance. It's all part of the Mortgage Mart guarantee. Put us to work for you. See us online at mortgagemartloans.com.
Fire sprinkler systems are reliable, economical, and proven to be the best way to protect your family and home. Don't take a chance on losing your home, your possessions, and even your loved ones. Contact Nortec Fire Protection today. With years of experience, they're experts in design and installation of quality fire sprinkler systems. Whether it's commercial, residential, or industrial applications, they are your solution provider. Contact them at 888-995-9900 or visit them on the web at nortecfire.com.
Back live at Husky Softball Stadium on a drop-dead gorgeous day. Thank you, Mother Nature, for cooperating with us here as the Seattle Regional now in its second day. This is the only regional of the 16 that began yesterday. All the other 15 began today, as John was giving you some of the scores just a little while ago. Here, the score, zip, zip, nothing, 0-0. It's pretty much all we can tell you as far as that goes. The Huskies do have 3 hits in the ball game, and BYU has 1, and it'll be Nikki Williams stepping in to get things started for Washington here in the top of the 4th. Williams grounded out to second on a beautiful defensive play by Christy De La House, ending the first inning. So she's 0 for 1. First pitch to her is down a little bit low. Williams had a real hard, sharp ground ball, and De La House took it on one hop. Landed flat on her face almost, got up and fired to first to get the out to end the inning. Next delivery, low and outside, so make it 2-0 on Nikki Williams. Williams to be followed by Caitlin Inglesby and Morgan Stewart here in. Next pitch now, and that one's going to miss, so make it 3-0 on Williams. Nice for the Huskies to get a base runner here leading off the 3rd inning. Williams batting .371. She leads the Huskies with 14 home runs and 52 RBIs. Next pitch from Affleck, taken all the way, and it's in for a called strike. Williams hit home run number 14 in yesterday's 6-2 win over Portland State. It's nice to see Nikki get off the schneid a little bit. Ended up going 1 for 3 with that home run. Now up there with the count 3-1, and the pitch down low and inside. Williams walks to lead off the 4th inning. I'm Mike Brown along with John Cowley. We got a special guest in the broadcast booth as former Husky basketball star John Brockman has joined us. John, how you doing? Nice to see you.
I'm doing very well. It's great to be back in Seattle.
Yeah. I'm playing for the Milwaukee Bucks now, right?
That's right. I'm in Milwaukee. Had a year in Sacramento. Then last year was my first year with Milwaukee. Didn't make the playoffs, but it's good to be back.
I'm just glad to see you having a successful career in the NBA. Up there right now, Caitlin Inglesby in the first pitches, up high, 1-0. Has the NBA turned out to be what you expected to this point?
It's a lot different. It's definitely different than college, but definitely enjoyable, and it's not a bad job. Not
a bad way to learn a living, huh?
Exactly.
Okay, so tell me about this burger that they got for you. How do you eat that and not have a heart attack right away?
Well, it's the Brockness burger. And it's 3 patties. There's 8 strips of bacon on it, with 2 of them coming out the top like antlers for the Bucks.
God.
It's got Milwaukee, Wisconsin cheddar cheese and some peanut butter on it. So
peanut butter on the burger with the bacon.
Man.
Nicely done.
The Brockness burger?
Brockness burger.
Brockness burger. Here's Caitlin Inglesby laying down a bunt. A beautiful one, too, as the third baseman, Atangi, will come up and make the field the play and throw to first in time to get Inglesby, who gets the job done, moving Nikki Williams into second base. So the Huskies, for the second time in the ball game, have a runner in scoring position. Let's see if they can come through this time. John, you pretty much a softball fan?
I'm a new softball fan. I haven't been to many games, but I'm enjoying it. Especially, I mean, when we get some weather like this here on the lake, it's hard to pass up an afternoon at the ballpark.
Morgan Stewart, the hitter now, as Affleck will go into her line. The pitch, check swing as that one is up high. So on the count, 1-0 on Morgan Stewart. Well, I'll tell you, John, you put in 4 good years with the Husky men's basketball program coming out of Snohomish. It was just great. I mean, you were just probably one of the hardest workers I think I've ever seen on the basketball court. As the next pitch in for a called strike. What do you think about when you think about your 4 years playing for Lorenzo Romar?
You know, I don't think about any of the hard practices. I don't think of any of the bad stuff. I just remember all the good times, you know, just a pack at Edmondson Pavilion. And, you know, it had a lot of fun. It was just a blast, and being a part of the Husky family, it's great to be able to come back and still enjoy it. And, you know, the same people are still around, so it's good seeing faces that I used to see every day.
Count is 1-2 on Stewart, swinging a chopped foul at the plate, so the count will remain 1-2.
UW is definitely building a reputation as a school to send players to the NBA, and Isaiah obviously leaving early. What do you think of his chances of becoming an NBA player?
Isaiah's a worker, and he's just got the biggest heart I've ever seen. So, you know, he'll get there, whatever route he takes.
Change swung on, fly ball hit the straightaway center field. Dugas out there will make the catch for out number 2. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little bit different of a route. You know, I think people expected him to come back, and who knows? I'm hoping he gets drafted fairly high and gets into a team where, you know, they need someone like him. But, you know, he's going to work, and he's going to keep working, and he's going to work some more. So I have no doubt about that.
Here's Shauna Wright now, the Husky catcher, up there with a runner on at second and 2 out, looking to come through for Washington as she takes a pitch up high. Shauna single her first time up.
I also understand you're a big YouTube sensation. I went and saw it.
I did
impressive.
too.
When did you come up with the idea for the trick shot video put on YouTube?
Well, first of all, it was real. There's a lot of speculation, and people think that it's fake. But no, it was just something that I do after practice. I just throw trick shots around, and one time the video guy started catching a few of them. He said, hey, we should have a contest with some fans and give away some tickets for whoever can make a good trick shot video. So we made it in about hour and a half one night after practice, and just posted it on YouTube, and it kind of blew up a little bit.
It's awesome. You got to see it, folks, if you haven't checked it out yet. I watched it last night. Pitch down low makes it 3-0. Now, how many times did you have to do each one of them about before the ball went in the hoop?
Well, I had 6 rebounders, and they were passing them to me the entire time. So some of them took 30 tries, some of them took 50 tries. I think a couple on there probably even took 100 different tries at it.
Because I'll tell you, if you said, oh, it just took 1 or 2 tries, my next question is going to be, then why can't you do that during a game?
Exactly. It take a lot of guts to shoot all those during the game, too.
Hey, my favorite one is when you were up in the stands and you throw the ball and it bounces. I go, oh, he missed. Then it goes up and banks in to the basket. It was great.
And you called bank. I like that.
Oh, yeah, called bank.
You got to like that.
You know, that's what I was going for the whole time. So.
That's awesome. Just go to YouTube, folks, and check it out. John Brockman's trick shots on the court. It was really, really good. Here's a 3-0 pitch to Shauna Wright. There's a throw out up and high. They got Morgan Stewart in a rundown. She's trying to go to third. Ball gets away from the third baseman. Now Stewart Nikki Williams gets up and comes in to score and give the Huskies the first run of the ball game as they take the lead 1-0 over BYU. That was a pitch out and a called play as Williams got caught off the bag at second. They had a chance to gun her down, but the ball got away from the third baseman, Atungi, and Williams comes in to score.
It's just what we saw BYU do yesterday. The pickoff attempt, you just take off for third because you're not going to make it back. Sliding hard into third, Atungi not able to make the play. Nikki got right up, headed into home. And, you know, with a game like this, the pitchers dealing the way they are, it's plays like that that are going to make the difference.
A 1-0 lead for Washington now, as Shauna Wright continues at the plate and takes a pitch high and inside check. That's Ashley Tuiasosopo. Shauna Wright is on at second base.
She walked, and then on the throw to third and then towards home, she took off. They tried to throw her out at second, weren't able to do it, so Shauna's in scoring position.
There's your old coach right there, John. Lorenzo Romar is
they're
here.
distracting me.
Tell him to come in. Tell him to come in real quick and say hi to you. Lorenzo Romar. Come on in, Coach. Get you on the broadcast here for a second. He doesn't want to talk. So runner at second and 2 out is Tuiasosopo with the plate. A pitch down low and outside. You didn't get to play with any Tuiasosopos, did you?
I did not, no. I know him really well, and actually when I was down in L.A. 2 weeks ago, I ran into Matt.
Oh, nice.
Just walking on the street.
Oh, really?
So it's kind of cool to see him.
Little small world moment for
Really
you.
small world, yep.
John Brockman, former Husky basketball star, is our guest here. We're in the top of the 4th inning, and the Huskies lead it 1-0 as BYU is going to have a little meeting of the minds in the circle. Ashley Tuiasosopo is at the plate with the count 2-1 here in the 4th, 2 out. And Nikki Williams scoring on the throwing error to give Washington the 1-0 lead. See, John, you're good luck. You come into the broadcast booth and the Huskies score.
And it's hard work, right? Hard work that they won with.
Exactly, and these are some good seats. I can see the game a lot better from up here. It's nice.
You see that pitch move, and you go, how did the girls hit that thing?
Yeah, you can't really see that from the side, but it's pretty impressive. The pitcher's definitely a lot closer than what I was used to in T-ball.
Now, John, you're walking around in a boot. Did you have off-season surgery?
Yeah, I had some bone spurs removed, just kind of orthoscopic.
Bunt being laid down by Tuiasosopo. That's going to be fielded by Atange at third, and she throws for out number 3. Can you stick around for a couple more minutes?
A couple more minutes, yeah. That's
all right,
fine.
good. All right.
Yeah, I had a little scope just to clean out my ankle, and I'll be back 100%. So
oh, good.
I didn't have to fix anything, just kind of clean some stuff out.
Here in the top of the 4th, a run for the Huskies, no hits. There was an error and a runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. We're halfway through the scheduled 7-inning affair, and the score, Huskies 1, BYU 0. We'll be back after this timeout.
Since 1950, Sound Oil Company has built a reputation as a leader in the heating oil industry. Their prices and service combine to give you the best value when it comes to home heating oil. What you may not know is that Sound Oil is also a leader in air conditioning services. For complete sales, service, and installation of energy-efficient air conditioning units, you can trust Sound Oil. Find them online at soundoil.com. Sound Oil Company, keeping you comfortable year-round.
Do you remember the 1940s? Many of us don't. But there's a company in town that does. It's K.C. Martin Automotive and K.C. Martin Transmissions, established in 1948. A lot has changed since then, but choose K.C. Martin for your automotive needs, and you'll still get the same professional service that folks enjoyed over 60 years ago. Their goal is still to provide the latest in technology, the highest quality, the most affordable rate, and to do it at a minimum amount of time.
K.C. Martin Automotive Service and K.C. Martin Transmission at kcmartin.com.
This is Alternative Talk, 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KLCK FM 98.9, Digital HD3 Seattle.
We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, Washington leading it by the slimmest of margins, 1-0, but they do break through with an unearned run in the top of the 4th as Nikki Williams comes around from second base to score. She got caught in a rundown between second and third, went for third base, was credited with a stolen base as she dove in. The throw got away from the third baseman, Castian Atangi, and it got far enough away where Williams was able to get up and come in and score. So the second baseman, De La House, will be charged with a throwing error on the play, allowing the run to come in and score. So we go to the bottom of the 4th with BYU sending up their number 2, 3, and 4 hitters against Caitlin Inglesby. Tifa Messerschmidt to lead things off here in the 4th. Left-handed hitter up there against Inglesby. And the first pitch on the way from Caitlin is going to be in for a called strike. John Brockman, a former Husky men's basketball player standout, is in the booth with us, visiting here in the 4th inning, giving us some of his time. John, what would you say the biggest difference between the NBA and college ball is, aside from the fact that the talent level goes up more than one notch, I suppose?
Yeah, there's, definitely bigger bodies, bigger, stronger guys out there. But the thing I notice is it's a lot of one-on-one. It's not as much a team game as the college thing seems to be in a fast-paced game. It's more kind of set plays and then the one-on-one action on one side where all the other guys are on the other side.
Isolation kind of stuff. Yeah, that is a big difference for sure. Is the next delivery now. A called strike again, and 1-2 the count on Messerschmidt.
Now, Caitlin broke her nose in the fall, and so she's wearing a mask. You played a few games with the mask on, didn't you?
Yeah, my whole freshman year I had the mask, so I know what that's like. And
how does it change your focus and your vision?
The biggest thing for me, I sweat a lot, so we get all fogged up, and I get water in there.
Pitch swung on, ground ball hit right side. Caitlin Inglesby gloves it and uses the glove to throw to first base just in time to get Messerschmidt. Didn't even make the transfer. She didn't have time, just gloved it and shoveled it to Nikki Williams at first for the first out.
And you know, John, they work on that. They have what's called Puerto Rican pepper, where they'll hit the ball, and one of the girls will field it, and then they have to pass it to each other with their gloves, and that's why they practice it. She had no other way to make the play.
Perfect example right there. If she tried to throw it with her other hand, she wouldn't have got it there.
So who's the toughest player you've been up against in the NBA, would you say? Or top three, anyway.
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal guy's pretty tough.
First pitch out of the way to Clayton, and then, that one misses.
Dwight Howard would have to be
that.
probably the toughest guy to play against. Just his size and his strength. You can't move him at all. You just got to kind of move around him or try and draw a charge and let him run through you.
Yeah. Count is 1-0 on J.C. Clayton. And the pitch swung on and fouled away. Boy, how about Derek Rose? You must have been in some games against him, going on to win the MVP.
Yeah, they're in our division, so we played against him a number of times, and he's just amazing how strong he is for a point guard, and his explosion is unbelievable. You think he's in top gear, and then all of a sudden he just kicks it into another.
I'm amazed at how that guy elevates so well. Man, he can get up in the air.
Oh, he's a great player, and his shot keeps improving, and that's the crazy thing is he's the MVP of our league this year, and he's going to get better. He's going to get a lot better. So it could be scary these next few years what he turns into.
Count is 1-2 on J.C. Clayton as Inglesby back into her line, swing and a miss, and she's got herself another strikeout here in the fourth. 2 out, nobody on.
Well, John, everywhere you go, you become a fan favorite. It's that lunch pail mentality we all love. You've got to be excited that Sacramento was able to keep a team, because I know those fans were good to you.
Oh, it's a great fan base, and it's pretty sad what's going on there right now, just with the possibility of them leaving. So they're going to be there for another year. I'm really happy for the city and for the fans, just because they deserve to have a team, and they're really supportive.
First pitch on the way to Fitu now is popped up in the infield. Jen Salling going to make the call and the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for Caitlin Inglesby. John Brockman, really appreciate the time here on the radio. Thanks for coming up and visiting, okay?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, continued success down the road.
All right, I appreciate it. Go Dogs.
All righty, 4 innings in the books, and we'll go to the 5th with the score: Washington 1, the Cougars nothing.
For 57 years, Diamond Dog fans have chosen North Lake Tavern as their meeting place of choice. Where else can you find all your favorite beverages, pizza by the pound, and an enthusiastic group of staff and friends waiting to celebrate the next Husky victory? Stop by tonight. Please remember, 21 and older for inside dining. North Lake Tavern Pizza is conveniently located at the edge of the West Campus, the north end of Lake Union.
Find them online at northlaketavern.com. Let's go, Dogs.
We all need advice sometimes. When it comes to your vision, talk to people who've been there. They'll point you to UW Medicine Eye Institute at Harborview, like Dave Larson, whose glaucoma was caught and treated early, or Monica Lowe, who thanks to refractive surgery can finally see without glasses. People across our region trust their vision to the UW Medicine Eye Institute. UW Medicine Health System. From here, we change the world. Request an appointment and read more stories at uwmedicine.org/stories.
Here we go, the top of the 5th inning, and a 1-0 lead for the Washington Huskies. Mike Brown here, along with John Cowley on 1150 AM KKNW, the home of Husky softball again here in 2011. So far, so good for Washington in this regional. They won their first game yesterday over Portland State 6-2, and now take the lead here against BYU, getting an unearned run in the top half of the 4th. And I think what was very important about after scoring that run was that Caitlin Inglesby came right out in the bottom of the inning and got the Cougars out 1-2-3. In fact, she's retired 7 straight.
And
Go ahead, John.
It's kind of nice. You see the senior pitcher, Paige Affleck, getting a little frustrated with what's going on around her and losing a little bit of control, but settling down after the run scored. The freshman looking very, very composed. And hopefully what the lesson learned yesterday for Caitlin Inglesby is you can't let up ever in a regional. Portland State scoring 2 runs in the top of the 7th in yesterday's ball game. She's going to have to stay in her game all 7 innings if she wants to advance.
I want to correct myself. I said Caitlin's retired 7 straight. She's retired 9 straight, actually. Here's Maggie Wagner to lead off the 5th. Showing bunt on the first pitch, but wisely getting the bat out of the way as it's low and outside. Wagner to be followed by Victoria Hayward, and then to the top of the lineup for Kimmy Pullman. Wagner 0 for 1. She struck out swinging to end the second. Pitch. This one up high. Wags wanting to put the bat on the ball, but Affleck hasn't gotten near the strike zone yet, so it's 2-0.
Looked like Maggie had laid down a great bunt that was going to get her on base, but home plate umpire John Bennett said it hit her on the thigh. Called it a foul ball.
Next pitch on the way, and taking is Wagner for a called strike, 2-1. Well, gee, John, we're off to a roaring start with the celebrity interviews during play-by-play this weekend. We had Matt Hasselbeck last night. Now John Brockman just did an inning with us here, the former Husky basketball star, now with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Who's next, Mike? Who's next?
We'll find somebody. Here's a bunt attempt, and that one's going to squib foul to even the count at 2-2. Just got to keep looking around, see who's here. I know Lorenzo Romar's here, but he didn't look like he was too crazy about coming on the radio.
No, he didn't. I heard that Coach Heather Tarr tried to get Pete Carroll to come and talk to the team. I don't know if that happened, but it'd be nice to see Pete Carroll here.
Infield playing in all the way around. Wagner swings, hits a high popper to third. It's going to be a high chopper, rather, and the throw to third going to be late as Wagner beats it out with that great speed. She got the ball to get that bounce that she needed high in the air and was able to beat the throw for a leadoff single.
And she just got the top of the ball. It went up with a ton of spin. Third baseman Natangi made a great play on it. She was right underneath it, made a strong throw, but that speed, it was that treadmill work with the weight vest helping Maggie Wagner there. She beat out that throw from Natangi.
4th hit of the ball game for Washington as Victoria Hayward comes up, takes a called strike on the outer half of the plate. Good chance Hayward will be trying to sacrifice Wagner along and then get to the top of the lineup. We'll see what happens here. She's got the infield playing in, especially at the corners, does Hayward, a left-handed hitter. Pitch on the way from Affleck, and that's going to miss outside, 1-1.
Don't expect to see Maggie Wagner taking off on a straight steal after they threw out Kimmy Pullman in the first inning and showed the arm of Fitu behind home plate, so they used the sacrifice, get her into scoring position.
Perfect situation to do that. She swing and hit the line drive foul down the left field line. Right over Heather Tarr's head. Heather figured that's not even going to be close. She didn't even get out of her crouch. She's like, that's going to be foul.
Well, and knew it was going to be over her head, too. It was going to be a perfect with the way that Atangi was charging in. That was going to go over her head and in front of the outfield. It's interesting, Heather allowing Victoria to use her bat to try and get on base instead of just bunt.
The pitch. There's a change in for a called strike, and Hayward's going to be rung up by the home plate umpire, John Bennett, for out number 1. So Wagner has to stay put over at first base. That is strikeout number 5 for Paige Affleck. And we go to the top of the lineup for Kimmy Pullman.
Well, she just floated that in, and Victoria Hayward way out in front of the box, not able to get it.
Pitch swung on, ground ball hit right at the shortstop, goes off of the front of her uniform and bounces in front of second base. Everybody is going to be safe. That should be an error charged to J.C. Clayton. And that'll put runners on at first and second for Washington. 1 out here in the 5th.
That's the 55th and 56th error for the Cougars this season. So they are, if you put pressure on the opposing team, you can create errors, and the Huskies doing just that.
So Maggie Wagner's on at second. Kimmy Pullman on at first after the error by Clayton at short. And Jen Salling will step in with 1 out in the 5th. Huskies lead it 1-0.
And you've got incredible speed out there on the base paths, and Jen Salling who can drive the ball.
Looking to do so right here against Paige Affleck, who delivers way inside 1-0.
We saw Jen with her hit that she got yesterday just turn on a ball, put it over the right fielder's head. She's not going to get anything over the head of any of these BYU outfielders. They play so deep, but she can certainly find a gap.
Next pitch. Well, outside, 2-0.
Now here's where you'd love to see Jen Salling attack. She's got a 2-0 count. Just look for a particular pitch and know that you can just turn on it. If it's not the pitch you're looking for, fine. But if it is, attack it.
Let's see if Affleck comes in with the changeup right here. The pitch on the way. It's not a change, but it misses outside. Make the count 3-0. So Salling undoubtedly going to be taken on this next one.
Not very often that Coach Heather Tarr gives the green light on 3-0. Regionals is not where she's going to start.
So here's Affleck's next pitch now, and it's in there for a called strike, as is usually the case on 3-0. 3-1 now to Salling. Good speed on the base paths. In fact, great speed. The two fastest runners are on at first and second. Next pitch to Salling now. Showing bunt, lets it go. It's outside, and the bases are going to be loaded for number 3 hitter Nikki Williams.
And nice thing by Jen, not only did she ran up on the ball like she was going to bunt. She let it go. She waited for John Bennett to make the call before she took off. That keeps you in the good graces of the umpire as well.
Time going to be called now as head coach Gordon Eakin wants to go out and have a little discussion with his entire infield in the circle. Gives me an opportunity to remind you fans about where Husky fans celebrate. You probably already know. For 57 years, it's been the North Lake Tavern. Where else can you find all your favorite beverages, their specialty, which is pizza by the pound, and all kinds of Husky fans waiting to celebrate another victory. Maybe we'll get one here this afternoon. They're leading 1-0. Why don't you stop by soon? Maybe tonight. It's Friday. Why not? Get a pizza. North Lake Tavern and Pizza House, located at the north end of Lake Union. Remember, 21 and older for inside dining at the North Lake Tavern and Pizza House. John, I think they've been one of our sponsors all 14 years, haven't they?
Oh, they have, and I was able to drop by there the other night, and I've worked with Cheryl Berkovic for a long time, and her general manager, Muhammad, and I've never met him, and I got a chance to shake his hand and meet him. And I said, we seem like we're old friends. We've talked forever. First time we got to meet. So if you go in, say hi to Muhammad or Cheryl. They'll take great care of you.
Bases are loaded for Nikki Williams' first pitch to her, and it's a called strike as Affleck gets out in front. 0-1, hitting the outer edge of the plate.
Nikki hit the ball really hard in the first inning. A great play by De La House out at second base, kept it from being a base hit.
The next delivery is going to miss outside. 1-1 on Nikki Williams, who scored the only run of the ball game after walking in the fourth inning. She's credited with a stolen base and then came home on a throwing error by the second baseman, Christy De La House. Next pitch on the way to Nikki. It's a change, and it drops in nicely for a called strike. So 1-2 on Nikki Williams here in the top of the fifth inning. Huskies have perhaps their 3 fastest players on base right now.
And this is where you want to see Nikki Williams just get a ball into the outfield.
Put it in play. Next pitch misses outside. A routine fly ball would score a run for sure. But at the very least, put the ball in play. If you're not going to hit it in the air deep, hit it hard on the ground. Try to make something happen.
We've seen 2 errors from BYU already. Creating a third.
Count is 2-2 in the pitch. Change swung on. Line drive hit right back up the middle for a base hit. Maggie Wagner's going to score. Kimmy Pullman is going to come in and score. Jen Saling's going to advance to third. And right behind the plate, Nikki Williams slides into second base. Now a throw home to get Jen Saling attempting to score. After the throw back to second base, she's going to be gunned down. But the Huskies score 2 runs on the single back up the middle by Nikki Williams and now lead it 3-0 here in the fifth inning.
And I'll tell you, Coach Heather Tarr is not going to be upset with the aggressiveness of Jen Saling. When they made the throw down to second, Jen had made her turn. That looked like the second baseman wasn't paying attention. She took off, but a nice throw by De La House to get Jen Saling at home plate. Nice tag played by Fitu, but the Huskies pick up 2 big runs on that single. A changeup Nikki sent back through the middle.
Here's Caitlin Inglesby now taking a called strike, 0-1 on the Husky pitcher. So 2 out now in the 5th, but 2 in. And the Huskies with a little bit more of a comfortable lead of 3-0 here in the top of the 5th. The pitch. And that one's down low. Williams is on at second base after delivering the 2 RBI single. Right back up the middle, scoring Maggie Wagner and Kimmy Pullman.
2 strikes on her, and she was out on her front foot, but the hands were back and just sent it right back up the middle. Beautiful piece of hitting.
The pitch. Change, and that's in for a called strike and a beauty. Boy, I'll tell you, Paige Affleck has a very nice changeup.
And that was the best one we've seen today because she took a lot off it, and she was able to break it off just onto the outside corner.
So the count 1-2 on Caitlin Inglesby. The pitch up high, and we're even. 2-2.
Kate would love to drive a ball here and pick up Nikki Williams out there at second base and bring in one more run to give the Huskies just a little bit more breathing room. Being the visiting team, you can't have enough.
He can never score enough runs, is what I've heard coaches say. This pitch is down low, and Inglesby has worked the count full, 3-2 with 2 out. Runner at second, and a 3-0 lead for the Washington Huskies, looking to add on another one right here, if possible. The pitch. There's a changeup that misses down low, and that'll put Inglesby on at first base. Morgan Stewart due up. I'm thinking Heather Tarr might not go to her bench to lift Inglesby. She could put Whitney Jones in there without using up a player because Jones was in the original lineup. But Heather not electing to do so. She's going to let Inglesby run. First pitch to Stewart, low and outside, so 1-0. Start off Morgan Stewart.
And don't get us wrong, Caitlin is athletic. I mean, she eats up a lot of ground with those long strides. She's just not as fast as some of the other options Heather Tarr has.
Next pitch, called strike to Morgan Stewart. Make it 1-1.
Had Morgan on our post-game show yesterday. She's just so comfortable. Seen her grow up so much now in her senior year for the Huskies.
Next delivery, and that swung on and fouled back to make it 1-2. Yeah, Caitlin Inglesby, you're right. She is athletic, John. Talking with her dad last night, he talked about how, she's a world-class racquetball player.
Yep.
Excellent in softball. She even neglected to go out for certain sports because she was just too tired, like basketball and volleyball. The high school coaches wanted her to come out, and she wouldn't necessarily want to play all the time. Here's a called strike 3 on Morgan Stewart, which will end the 5th inning. But a good one for the Huskies as Nikki Williams delivers a 2 RBI single, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th with the score of Washington 3, BYU nothing.
Hey, Clark, how about a donut?
Thanks, Lewis. Is it vegan?
I'm not sure. These are Dutch donuts from Sri Lanka.
I'll pass.
They're from the Donut of the Month Club. My first purchase with my new Alaska Airlines Visa Signature credit card.
And don't forget about the 25,000 mileage plan bonus miles you got when your Alaska Airlines Visa card was approved.
I know. I've already earned enough for a free trip. And I've got donuts. Is this frosting or fungus?
You know, Lewis, when we add those miles to the miles we've already earned flying Horizon Air, we can redeem them for a round trip from Seattle to Hawaii on Alaska.
Ah, perfect. Unlike these donuts. Maybe I'll go vegan.
Top Hot now has a vegan donut.
Lead on.
I'm proud of you, Lewis.
Hey, if I could get them with a side of bacon, I could really go for this vegan thing.
Earn 25,000 mileage plan bonus miles when you're approved for the Alaska Airlines Visa Signature card. Sign up today at alaskaair.com.
We've played 4.5 innings here at Husky Softball Stadium, and Washington leads it 3-0 as they go back to work on defense. Caitlin Inglesby will be facing the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the BYU lineup. Washington scoring 1 in the 4th and 2 more in the 5th and getting some help from BYU as well. They've committed 2 errors leading to 2 unearned runs. And Washington taking advantage, mainly just putting the ball in play and forcing BYU to do things defensively, not always able to come through. So a 3-0 lead for Washington as the Cougars come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. The winner of this ball game moves into the championship round tomorrow. First game scheduled for 2:30. first of a possible two. The loser of this game has to come back and play tonight at 8 o'clock against either Auburn or Portland State. Those two teams will play each other right after this game concludes. The loser is out, and their season comes to an end. The winner gets to play again at 8 o'clock against the loser of this game. Kastian Atungi will lead things off here for BYU in the fifth. And the first pitch to her swung on and missed. Caitlin Inglesby has retired 9 straight. In fact, she's faced just one over the minimum in this game, allowing a leadoff single to Jessica Fitu in the second.
Caitlin's showing she's got a change-up as well. That was a nice one there.
Now Inglesby's next pitch is going to miss up high, 1-1. BYU, we've talked about the enormous success that this program has had in just 12 seasons. They've won the Mountain West Conference 3 straight years, so they're the defending champ again. Next pitch swung on and fouled down the right field line and out of play. But BYU making a big change. They're going to switch over to the WAC next year, the Western Athletic Conference.
Kind of strange to see all the changes being made in the college landscape. Going to have the Pac-12, the Big Ten with, 13 teams now?
Wow. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to miss down low to Kastian Atungi.
And then the Big 12 is, down to 10 teams? And the numbers don't make sense. I like that the Pac-10 was the Pac-8, became the Pac-10. It's going to become the Pac-12. They will name it however many teams are in the conference. Makes sense.
Next delivery now, swing and a foul to the backstop, and the count remains fixed at 2-2. Kastian Atungi. Here's how you spell her name. Her first name is C-A-S-C-H-J-E-N. Kastian. Last name A-T-A-G-I, as the pitch misses outside. Now, we pronounce it. Her last name is pronounced as though there was an N in there. Atungi.
I haven't gotten used to that yet, Mike. There's no N. How do they say? Where does that come from?
Looks like Ataji.
Or Atagi?
Count is full now on the third baseman, who swings and hits a drive out into right center field, and that one's going to get out of here for a home run. Boy, she put a rise into that one right there, was all over that rise ball and hit it out the opposite way for a solo home run. So Kastian Atungi, with her 11th home run of the season, gets the Cougars on the board. It's now Washington 3 and BYU 1.
And Atungi had the double yesterday, the single that turned into a triple. She continues to be the hottest hitting Cougar. And again, as we said, you can't score enough runs. BYU's got a good offensive team. Caitlin got down in the count 3-2, had to come in, get a big part of the plate, and Atungi knew what to do with it.
Sent it out of here into the bleachers in right center field. So a 3-1 score now as BYU breaks up the shutout bid by Caitlin Inglesby. So Caitlin having to go back to work here with nobody out in the fifth. And she'll face Delaney Willard. First pitch swing, and it's a ground ball that Jen Salling goes off her chest, and that's going to be an error on Jen Salling.
And that's just not something you see very often. She is the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. She plays great defense. That ball just ate her up.
So the fifth inning, not off to a very good start for the Washington Huskies, who will now gather inside the pitching circle to talk things over. And I'm sure everybody's just saying, all right, let's collect ourselves here. We are winning this game. We're getting near the end. There's still a ways to go, but let's get back to playing our usual brand of softball, and we're going to be okay.
And they've got to make sure that their freshman pitcher just stays settled down, focus on it pitch by pitch. That's the thing we just saw Danielle Laurie learn to do so well over her career, was that deep breath and take it pitch by pitch by pitch.
Here's Alexandra Hudson, the one State of Washington player on the BYU roster, showing bunt, lays one down, but it's foul. Trying to move that runner from first into second. There's nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. BYU has already gotten one in on the solo home run by Kastian Atungi. And now an error by Jen Salling allows Delaney Willard to get on over at first base.
We've talked about how BYU steals a lot, but Willard not one of them, only 2 for 2 on the season.
Hudson at the plate, awaiting the next delivery from Caitlin Inglesby. Here it comes. Swinging away and fouls it off. 0-2.
You can hear a very strong BYU contingent here. They may not be big in numbers, but noticed against Auburn they were loud, and you can hear them starting to get riled up here in this game as well.
Hudson up there, a left-handed hitter. And the next delivery is swung on and fouled out of play. So still 0-2 on the hitter, Alexandra Hudson out of Everett High School.
Good changeup by Kate on the outside part of the plate, and Hudson having to just swing defensively to keep her at-bat alive. That was going to be called strike 3. She managed to fight it off.
Huskies looking for an out here in the 5th. The pitch. And that was going to miss low and outside. BYU with a runner on at first. Nobody out. Run in already. And they break up the shutout bid by Caitlin Inglesby. It's 3-1 Washington.
She's done a nice job. BYU only has 2 hits. Runner on at first via the error, uncharacteristic of Jen Sally.
The pitch from Inglesby, swung on, ground ball hit the Sally, has to back up, shovel underhand to Maggie Wagner at second to get the lead runner. And Huskies got exactly what they needed right there, and out. Score at 6-4 on the fielder's choice hit into by Hudson, and that'll bring up Stacy Graham.
Now they get to work. Caitlin Inglesby gets to go to work at the bottom part of this order, and that's what she's going to have to do, keeping that 2-run cushion, and hopefully her team comes in and scores a couple more. Again, Washington the visiting team today, so BYU is going to have last at-bat in this game.
Inglesby now going to get a visit from Coach Cindy Bear Ball out in the circle. Fans, now more than ever, staying in good financial shape is important. At Edward Jones, they have a lineup of financial solutions to help you throughout your life, from tax-advantaged investments to long-term care insurance and life insurance. Husky alum and all-century baseball team member Dwayne Covey can help you out. Dwayne Covey and Edward Jones, member SIPC. Dwayne Covey's been with us quite a while, too, I think, John.
Yeah, a baseball guy, and he's become a big softball fan. Came out to a couple of games last year, really enjoyed the sport, and said those girls can play.
Lacey Millett will come on and run for Alexandra Hudson over at first base. So we see the first move to the bench by one of the teams in the ball game is head coach Gordon Eakin, going with a little bit more speed on the base paths in Lacey Millett. Stacy Graham is the hitter, and the first pitch on the way to her is going to miss up high 1-0.
We've got to keep an eye on Millett, 14 or 15 on the season for Millett.
One of many Cougars that are capable of stealing bases. They've stolen 75 bases this year. Compare that to the Huskies, who have 59. Next pitch on the way. That's low and inside. And the count now 2-0.
Millett from Folsom, California. I think one of her plate songs is
Folsom Prison Blues.
Little Johnny Cash.
Graham, a left-handed hitter up there, awaiting the 2-0 pitch from Caitlin Inglesby. Here it comes, and it's going to miss outside. So Caitlin, who was on a roll there, retiring 9 in a row, now having all kinds of problems here in the 5th. She gave up the leadoff home run to Castian Atungi. Then had the defense fall apart a little bit behind her as Delaney Willard got on by an error by Jen Sallant. She did get someone to hit into a fielder's choice, and now behind on the hitter here, 3-0, and misses outside. And that'll put runners on at first and second. So it's not getting any better here for Caitlin Inglesby.
Especially when you look, she's going to the number 9 hitter, but Jessica Dugas batting .355, an all-conference player for the Cougars. And then you turn it over to the top of the lineup. So Caitlin going to have to bear down. We've seen her do this with runners in scoring position, find that focus, get that next out.
Just one away here in the 5th. Cougars with runners on at first and second. Already have a run in. It's 3-1 Washington. First pitch on the way to Dugas, and she fouls it off, attempting to bunt. 0-1. So the Huskies just needed to keep their composure, like John said. Get it one out at a time. If you can get two, that'd be great, but keep those runs from coming in. Huskies with 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. The Cougars with 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 errors. It's definitely led to some runs for Washington, those 2 errors. The next pitch. Dugas lets it go by wisely. It misses outside, 1-1.
That's a call that Caitlin was wanting to get. She's worked the outside part of the plate extremely well. Again, just has to think about how high she's got to hit the player on the knee.
Now the next delivery from Inglesby. It's going to be up high on Dugas, 2-1. So not a good inning for the Huskies to this point. BYU making their best threat of the game, no doubt. They've been retired in order in the first, third, and fourth, had a single in the second, and that was it. It isn't until the fifth here that they've been able to make something happen.
And the Huskies helping out with an error and a walk, accounting for the runners on base right now.
The pitch. There's a bunt attempt to Morgan Stewart. She's going to turn, throw to third, and they get the lead runner over there. Morgan made the right decision. She had a couple of options. She could have easily gone to first and got an easy out there because she pounced on the ball right away. But she said, hey, I can probably get that runner at third. I know Jen Sallin's going to be there covering, and she threw and got that lead runner. That's a big out.
Great footwork by Morgan. She got that, and then she kind of jumped in the air to pivot, made that strong throw. Jen coming over, and they beat her by a good step or two. It wasn't like it was a bang-bang play, so nice choice by Morgan Stewart. That really helps to have that lead runner off the base. Now 1 out away from getting out of this mess.
First pitch on the way to Christy Della House in for a called strike. That was the pinch runner, Millet, that they got over at third base, which makes it even more impressive.
You got the speedy Millet. And again, it wasn't close, but that's because Morgan made such a nice play. Now it's Della House, who they've been able to keep off the base paths all game long.
She's 0 for 2, grounded out the second on both occasions. Here comes the next pitch, and that one is outside, 1-1.
Della House, just a .299 hitter. I say just, hitting .299 on the season, but was 0 for 4 yesterday against Auburn, and again 0 for 2. That makes her dangerous. She feels like she's due.
Della House, right-handed hitter, awaiting the next pitch, swings and hits a chopper foul up the third base line. So it's 1-2 on Della House, and Caitlin Inglesby, 1 strike from getting out of this messy fifth inning.
And again, she gave up a solo home run. If you're going to give up a home run, make it a solo job. Her defense fell behind her a little bit with Jen Salling. She walked the batter, but now working her way out. Nice by the pitcher.
Here's Inglesby's next pitch now, and it is a called strike 3 on the outer edge of the plate. Della House did not agree with that one at all, throws the bat aside, and that'll do it for the Cougars here in the fifth inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. After 5 full innings of play, the score, Washington 3, BYU 1.
As you enjoy baseball season, think about the game that is life. Are you in shape financially to play beyond the 5th inning? What would happen if your life went into extra innings? At Edward Jones, we have a lineup of financial solutions to help you through the game of life. Tax advantage investments to increase retirement savings in the case of extra innings. Long-term care insurance to help with some of life's errors. And life insurance to prepare for the final tally.
To learn more, call All Century team member Dwayne Covey at 206-524-0050. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
To make it in this league, you need to give 100% of the time. Why would you expect anything less from your auto mechanic? The professionals at Seattle Auto Service Center are the area's leading automotive professionals. They feature ASE certified technicians, trained and certified to perform diagnosis, repair, and service on all systems of your automobile, truck, and SUV. For all your auto repair and maintenance needs, visit them at 6718 Roosevelt Way Northeast, or find out more at SeattleAutoServiceCenter.com.
A big called strike 3 gets the Huskies out of the 5th inning, and we go to the 6th now with Washington leading it 3-1 over the BYU Cougars. Welcome back to Huskies Softball Stadium fans. It's Mike Brown here along with John Cowley on 1150 AM KKNW. Christy Della House rung up by home plate umpire John Bennett with runners on at first and second. And he represented the tying runs right there. But Caitlin Inglesby getting the favorable call by the home plate ump, and she gets out of the fifth inning, giving up just the one run. So with the score 3-1 Washington, the Huskies will come to bat here in the top of the sixth inning. Shauna Wright, Ashley Tuiasosopo, and Maggie Wagner due up for the Washington Huskies. Got a defensive change here now as Alexandra Hudson, who began the game in left, will move over to right field. And Duckworth to come in. That's Carly Duckworth. She'll come in and play left field. First pitch on the way to right, swung on and missed. 0-1 on Shauna, who in the ball game is 1 for 1 with a walk. So she's been on the base paths here a little bit, and that's very encouraging for Shauna Wright.
Expected to see Carly Duckworth in the starting lineup. She is an all-conference performer for BYU.
Next pitch misses down low. It's 1-1 on Shauna. Right, a right-handed hitter up there waiting the next pitch from Paige Affleck. Here it is, and it's in on the inside corner, 1-2. Washington looking to complete a victory here and move into the championship round tomorrow. 2:30 is game time. Swing and a miss, and Shauna Wright is down on the strikes. One away, and it brings up Ashley Tuiasosopo. 7 strikeouts for Paige Affleck in the ball game. She had 9 in the win over Auburn yesterday. Now Heather Tarr up having a talk with John Bennett, the home plate ump, and let's see if she might be going to her bench to hit for Ashley Tuiasosopo.
And Caitlin Inglesby matched that yesterday with 9 strikeouts against Portland State, which was a season high for her.
Sure enough, Jenna Clifton's going to come on and hit for Ashley Tuiasosopo here in the fifth. Ashley 0 for 2 in the ball game. So Clifton going to be given a shot here as the Huskies try to do some damage in the sixth. They lead it 3-1. There's one out and nobody on. Washington, the number 12 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. They were the number 3 seed last year. Went to the World Series and got knocked out in 2 straight.
Number 1 team, wire to wire in the polls, and number 1 top RPI team, and yet given the number 3 seed and a tough regional, super regional draw.
First pitch to Clifton, swung on and popped behind the backstop and out of play.
And North Carolina here last year with Danielle Spaulding, left-handed hard thrower, one of the leaders in the country in strikeouts per 9 innings. They were able to squeak by North Carolina.
Next pitch on the way to Clifton. That misses inside 1-1.
Super regional matchup last year was with Oklahoma. Kalani Ricketts, just a workhorse for Oklahoma. And the strangest sight I've ever seen in a Danielle Laurie pitched game, where she gave up 3 home runs in a game, 2 in an inning.
Changeup. Ball's a little bit low, and the count 2-1 on Jenna Clifton. One away, nobody on here for Washington in the top of the 6th inning. They lead it 3-1. Looking to add on 1 or 2 more here as the pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. 2-2 on Clifton. Jenna Clifton pitch hitting for Ashley Tuiasosopo. She's batting .219 this year. No home runs and 7 RBIs. Clifton, a junior out of Glendale, Arizona. The only state of Arizona player on the Husky roster. Right-handed hitter, awaiting the next delivery from Paige Affleck. It's a check swing down low. She did not go around, and the count will be full.
Nice job by Jenna. Coach Tarr saying, make sure you see that ball up. Don't go after that ball in the dirt.
This game moving along at a pretty good pace. Affleck now ready to deliver. The full count pitch to Clifton, swung on, and a hopper hit right at third, goes off the glove of Atunge. She's going to throw to first base, but late, as Clifton will be in there, and another error being charged to BYU. That'll be their 3rd of the ball game.
And again, you put the pressure on the team, you make them make the plays, and BYU showing they're having a little nerves here in the region because They did have over 50 errors coming into the ball game, but I don't think this is what they were expecting to see.
2 of the 3 Husky runs are unearned, and that'll be the 3rd error charge to BYU. And Jenna Clifton going to be coming out of the ball game, and Ashley Tuiasosopo taking over at first base. So Ashley re-enters the game.
So Jenna's night is done, and nice job she did. She hit the ball hard, a lot of spin on that ball, and Patungi not able to make the play.
Maggie Wagner, the hitter now. She'll draw the infield in as usual. She's 1 for 2 in the game. First pitch on the way to Wags, and lets it go by wisely. It's up high, 1-0. Maggie struck out swinging in the second, singled and scored in the 5th.
Great slap hit, got the top of the ball, and high bounce to Patungi out at third base.
Next delivery now, and a called strike. 1-1. Pretty good crowd here at Husky Softball Stadium. I don't know if we'll be able to get an attendance figure for you because they usually do it in
the second
sessions.
Game of the session, so we'll see if we get an estimate anyway.
The pitch up high to Wagner, so make it 2-1 on the sophomore from Woodinville, Washington. One of many that have come through the program. Ashley Tuiasosopo on it first. She's from Woodinville High School. Amanda Fleischman graduated after last year. Now the graduate assistant for the Huskies. She's from Woodinville. The pitch, change up. There's a bunt being laid down and a beauty, too. Throw down to first base, not going to be in time as Maggie Wagner beats the throw from feet too easily. And Huskies got something going here in the 6th. Runners at first and second, 1 away.
Great job by Maggie Wagner. She put that right out in front. And Fitu fields her position wonderfully, has that strong arm, but even with all of that said, she didn't come close to catching Maggie Wagner. Maggie beat it by a step.
That bunt single had as much to do with where she put the ball as it did her speed. Victoria Hayward now. Pitch high and outside. That might have been a pitch out to see if they got Tuiasosopo too far off the bag at second.
And Tui was not as far as Nikki, so she wasn't going to make that break to third. Second baseman, De La House, covering on the play.
Next pitch on the way to Hayward now. Swung on and chopped foul up the first base line. 1-1 on Victoria Hayward.
She has great bat control. The Husky coaching staff really trusts the freshman to use her bat to make contact, not asking her to bunt.
Now Affleck into the line and the pitch. Bunt attempt. It's popped over the backstop and a nice catch being made by a fan. So it'll be 1-2 on Victoria Hayward.
Give that man a Coke. Matt Hasselbeck saying that was a kid's highlight. They don't give their kids pop at home. They caught a foul ball, gave it, and got the free Coke. The kids were in heaven.
Pitch on the way, swung on, ground ball hit up the first base line. Going to be gloved by Graham. She'll put the tag on Hayward, and on the play, both Wagner and Tuiasosopo will move up 60 feet apiece. So runners at second and third, 2 out for the leadoff hitter, Kimmy Pullman.
Well, if you're not going to get the hit, you want to get the ball to the right side and advance those runners. Now you've got 2 runners in scoring position with the speedy Maggie Wagner out at second base, and Kimmy Pullman, the hottest hitting Husky, up to bat.
Pullman 1 for 3 in the game. She led off the ball game with a sharp line drive single to left field. She does that right here. She could plate a couple more runs. But not going to happen until Gordon Eakin, the head coach for BYU, has a talk with his infield in the circle. So, John, I don't know, got any scores you might want to pass along while we got a little break in the action?
Yeah, we just so you know, the Columbia region, which is the region we're opposite, is looks to be in a weather delay. DePaul and Indiana aren't going to start until 6 o'clock local time, our time tonight, so that's late in the Midwest, 8 o'clock there. And the Illinois State-Missouri game is going to be determined, so don't know if they'll get that game in. Some of the games that have been completed, UCLA beat Jacksonville. Oregon beats Albany. We know they're playing Fordham, who beat Penn State 2-0.
Here's Pullman now. First pitch on the way to her. Tries to slap at it, and she went around, so the count 0-1.
Kentucky in the Ann Arbor bracket beats Notre Dame 8-0 and advances to play the winner of Western Michigan and Michigan. Memphis beats Chattanooga in the Tuscaloosa bracket 4-1. Waits to see the winner of Jackson State and Alabama.
Next delivery, in for a called strike. Quickly 0-2 on Kimmy Pullman with runners on at second and third, 2 out.
Oklahoma State beats Georgia Tech. Those are two very good 2-3 seeds in the Knoxville region. Oklahoma State wins 2-1. They'll play the winner of Liberty and Tennessee.
Next delivery from Affleck now, high and outside.
A bit of a upset. University of Alabama Birmingham. UAB beats Florida State in the Athens Regional 2-0. Georgia beats Georgia State 8-0. And so it'll be UAB Georgia in the winner's bracket tomorrow.
Now the 1-2 pitch just misses outside. Good eye by Pullman right there to even the count 2-2.
In the College Park bracket in Maryland, Baylor beats Lehigh 4-0. They'll play the winner of East Carolina, Maryland. And those are the scores so far around the country, Mike.
Here it's 3-1 Washington, looking to add on with 2 runners in scoring position. The pitch swung on, ground ball hit right side, going to be scooped up by Delahose, who will throw to first in time to get Pullman, and the threat comes to an end. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base for Washington in the 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the inning with the score: Huskies 3, Cougars 1.
A manager relies on a series of signs to send his message to the players on the field. Your business needs more than hand signals to get its message out. That's why business leaders throughout the area rely on Tubart Group. From the initial design to final installation, their knowledgeable staff can show you the most creative solutions to fit your needs and your budget. So call the pros the Huskies use, the design experts at Tubart Group at 206-223-1122, or log on to www.tubart.com.
The key to winning for the Huskies is teamwork. It's the same when seeking legal counsel. When it comes to personal injury, automobile accident, and workers' compensation representation, more people are teaming up with the law office of William Hochberg. They have experience you can trust, and they'll take the time to explain your rights. Find them online at hochberglaw.net or visit them in downtown Edmonds, where they have plenty of free parking. The law office of William Hochberg. Help is on the way.
Time is starting to run out on the BYU Cougars, but they do have time. There's no question about that. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Washington leading it 3-1, and the Cougars to send up their number 2, 3, and 4 hitters against Caitlin Inglesby. Caitlin's been moving along quite well in this ball game, or did through 4 innings anyway, then got in some trouble in the 5th. The good news is that she gave up just 1 run. It was a leadoff homer to Castian Atunge. However, an error by Jen Saling and a walk by Inglesby put runners on at first and second. And she eventually got out of the mess by getting Jessica Dugas to hit into a fielder's choice, and then got a big strike 3 call from home plate umpire John Bennett while Christy Delahose was at the plate to end the inning. So let's see if she can kind of get back to her earlier ways rather than continuing what happened in the 5th inning here in the 6th.
The fielder's choice was an extremely good play by Morgan Stewart. Fielded a bunt and got the lead runner at third by throwing to Jen Saling.
Here's Tiffany Messerschmidt, or Tiffa rather, to lead things off. Swings and fouls one off to count 0-1.
I thought it was Tiffany too. I thought they just didn't have enough room on the line, but no, it's actually Tiffa.
Left-handed hitter, one of many in this lineup for head coach Gordon Eakin. Coaching over at third base right now. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back. So 0-2 on Messerschmidt.
The good news, Caitlin's only given up 2 hits through 5 innings. Shows you that she's been keeping these BYU hitters off balance.
A single and a homer is what she's given up.
And only the 1 walk last inning. So she's had good control.
Next pitch from Inglesby is going to miss outside, 1-2. Clouds have filled up the sky above us here, but not the threatening type. So hopefully we'll get all 3 games in that are scheduled for today. Next one scheduled to start at 5:30. Here's Caitlin into her wind. The pitch swung on and again fouled away by Messerschmidt. So count still 1-2.
Kid's doing with these left-handed slappers. She's just breaking that screwball off on the outside corner. As they're running up, they're having to reach out to protect the plate. Not able to get the bat on the ball. If they do, they're going to hit it at Morgan Stewart, who's got a great arm.
See if Inglesby can finish off the hitter right here. The pitch swung on, ground ball hit on one hop, and Morgan Stewart falls down, now gets up and fires the first in time to get Messerschmidt for out number 1.
Did I say if they hit it, it's going to go to Morgan Stewart? She's going to fall down and still make the throw because she's got a great arm.
All right. Well, you got 90% of it right there, John. What the heck?
Don't expect to see Morgan stumble like that. It was great footwork last inning that got the out. That was just a strong arm. She picked herself up and threw that sidearm.
J.C. Clayton, the shortstop, will come up now to face Caitlin Inglesby with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch on the way, a change, and it misses up high, 1-0. Huskies lead it 3-1.
No idea how Clayton hits 383 because she's one of those hitters who just sets her hands back, doesn't move the bat, and normally they'll go into a hitting position eventually. She stays for the longest time with that bat on her shoulder.
The pitch, a called strike to even the count at 1-1. That 383 average leads the Cougars, by the way.
Even as she's running up to slap, that bat is staying on her shoulder. It's almost like it's a mechanism she's using to remember to keep her hands back.
Next delivery from Caitlin now, and she just misses outside. 2-1 on the hitter, J.C. Clayton. Nice collection of Huskies off to our right. We got the athletic director, Scott Woodward, men's basketball coach, Lorenzo Romar, and former star player, John Brockman, all gathered together having a nice discussion.
Talking about how well the softball team's doing.
The pitch swung on and missed, and we're even at 2-2 on J.C. Clayton. Huskies in the NCAA tournament for the 18th consecutive year and 18th overall every year since 1994, their second year of existence.
That's just amazing.
So's their record. The pitch. Little outside to make the count full at 3-2. The Huskies' all-time postseason record is 78-34. And in regional play, it's even more impressive at 51-12.
That's with 3 head coaches. Teresa Wilson, the co-head coaches of Scott Santala and Steve Daly, and now head coach Heather Todd.
The pitch. Swing, ground ball to Morgan Stewart at third, takes it on 2 hops, fires the first in time to get J.C. Clayton, who was really motoring down that first base line, but Morgan Stewart did everything right and got the ball there in time for out number 2.
And for all the umpires out there, I apologize. I said the age-old adage, tie goes to the runner. I was corrected, Mike. Someone who is an umpire said, no, that's not the case. It says definitively in the rules, you must beat the throw. So they have to get to the bag before the throw does. So when I said that, apparently a couple of umpires cringed, got a little feedback. So I apologize to you umpires. The runner has to beat the throw. They didn't on that play. That's why the runner's out.
So the tie goes to the fielder, essentially.
Essentially, I think umpires are saying there's never a tie.
Yeah. Well, there is. You can't get there at the exact same time.
So, yeah, and in the college game, the way it was explained to me, they want them to definitely beat the throw. So if it's close, it's actually going to benefit the fielders, it sounds like.
Here's Jessica Fitu, cleanup hitter and catcher for BYU, taking a pitch down low. It's 1-0.
You know, crow doesn't taste so good, Mike, but every now and again you got to eat it.
Yeah, it's just take your medicine, buddy.
Yep.
Fitu, 1 for 2 in the ball game. She had the first hit for BYU and the only one in the first 4 innings. Swings and hits a pop down the first base line. Foul territory. Going to be playable for Nikki Williams, who makes the catch and a big out as he completes a 1-2-3 inning and gets one of the toughest hitters out in the BYU lineup. So there you go. 1-2-3 for the Cougars here in the 6th. And after 6 full innings of play, we'll go to the 7th and final inning. Huskies hope anyway, with the score, Washington 3, the Cougars 1.
For the second time in its 16-year history, Pioneer Radio and Sports relocated its offices. And just like the first time, when it was time to make the move, there was only one call to make: Mitchell Moving and Storage. They helped Pioneer prepare for the move ahead of time, got it done in a day, and the company had minimal downtime. Here's Pioneer President and General Manager Mark Meininger.
Let's face it, moving isn't fun. It's especially unnerving when you're moving an entire office of computers, furniture, file cabinets, and specialized equipment. I had my hands full with our move. The one thing I didn't have to worry about was Mitchell. They made it easy. Every person I spoke with and met was friendly and helpful, from the front office staff to the guys on the day of the move to the follow-up personnel. In fact, the move went so smoothly that I had Mitchell handle a personal move for me as well. Nobody likes moving, but whether you're a homeowner or a business owner like me, you won't go wrong with Mitchell Moving and Storage.
For your next move, whether it's across the street or across the country, you can rely on Mitchell. Find out more at mitchellmoving.com. Mitchell Moving and Storage, your home team movers and loyal fans of your Diamond Dogs.
This is Alternative Talk, 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KLCK FM 98.9 Digital HD3 Seattle.
We go to the 7th inning of play. Washington leading it 3-1 over BYU, and the Huskies not too far from wrapping up a victory and moving on into the championship round of this Seattle Regional of the NCAA tournament. They scored a run in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, allowed one BYU run in the bottom of the 5th, and that's been it for the scoring as Jessica Affleck gets in her warm-up throws before the Huskies come to bat here in the top of the 7th. Well, John, the key factor, I think, after the Huskies gave up that run to BYU in the 5th was that Caitlin Inglesby was able to come back, regain her form in the 6th, and retired BYU 1-2-3 in that inning.
And the pitches that she was missing with, she wasn't missing by much. She's getting that call on the outside corner, so she keeps firing for it. Sometimes she gets the call, sometimes she doesn't, but she's being fine. She's hitting her spots at the outside and really did a great job keeping Cougar hitters off balance. And to get Fida out for that last out on a pop-up to the first baseman, just an excellent, excellent piece of pitch.
That was a big out right there. Jen Salling, the lead off for Washington, swings at the first pitch, and it's a line drive, base hit out into right field. And that's the Jen Salling we like to see swinging the ball early in the count, and she ripped a single to lead off the 7th inning.
And the reason it's a single, Mike, is because BYU plays about 10 yards in front of the warning track. And because they're playing so deep, Jen has no opportunity to get to second base.
Well, Gordon Eakin ought to have a talk with his infield again, and he may be making a move to the bullpen here. Let's take a look.
Definitely is making the move, Mike.
All right, we're going to have a relief pitcher come in and take over for the BYU Cougars. Pitching change being ordered by Gordon Eakin. So we got a little break in the action, so we'll take a break and be back after this timeout.
Are you a building owner, engineer, or contractor in the industrial and commercial marketplace? CM Hoskins Company is your source for vibration isolation, seismic restraint, thermometer gauges, and accessories. CM Hoskins Company, in the business of vibration isolation and seismic restraint of commercial and industrial heating and ventilating equipment since 1976. Put our wealth of knowledge and experience to work for you. Call 206-366-1100.
Craving the flavor of the big city? Don't want to make the drive, hassle with parking, or pay the premium? Then stop by 272 Grill & Bar in Covington. We're an upscale East Side restaurant bringing the flavors of downtown's finest restaurants to Covington. Come early for our bistro-style breakfast, have a quick and delicious lunch, dine the night away for dinner, or relax with friends in our bar with live music Fridays and Saturdays. Find us at 272grillandbar.com or visit us in Covington off Kent Kangley.
Hannah Howell will be the new pitcher for BYU as she comes into the ball game in relief of starter Paige Affleck. Affleck going 6+ innings, allowing a leadoff single to Jen Salling here in the 7th inning. Hannah Howell, a 5'3" sophomore out of Winfield, Louisiana. Well, I got a player from Louisiana on this ball club. Howell comes into the game with a 4-2 record and an ERA of 2.78. This is her 25th appearance of 2011. First batter she'll face is Nikki Williams, who's 1 for 2 with a walk. First pitch bounces in. That's going to allow Salling to head on down to second base as it gets away from the catcher Fitu, and a wild pitch being charged to Howell on the first delivery she makes.
I don't want to say that Paige Affleck's a workhorse, but she's thrown 224 innings coming into today. Second most is Tori Allman at 82.2. Hannah Howell has only thrown 50 in a third innings this season, Mike.
Next pitch from Howell, and that's going to miss down low. I'm thinking as much as anything, Gordon Eakin is saying, we got to play another game later. I'm taking my starter out to save her for later on tonight.
Either our offense is going to come through and win this game for me, or we're playing again later, and I need to save my pitcher. You see this a lot in regional play.
Next pitch to Williams, a check swing. It's in for a called strike, 2-1.
Because you look at it, if BYU wants to continue, if they do lose this game, they're going to have to win tonight and then win 2 more on Saturday. Not easy to do for one pitcher.
Heather Tarr coming in to talk to home plate umpire John Bennett. Not exactly sure, but she might be asking, where exactly was that pitch anyway that you called it a strike?
You're not saying she swung, did you? You're making that a called strike? Okay, just want to know where it was.
Next delivery to Nikki. Going to miss down low. 3-1 on Nikki Williams, who walked, stole a base, and came in on a throwing error back in the 4th. She actually got caught in between off the bag at second. Throw went down to second. She's just headed for third. Dove in. The throw came there and got away from the third baseman, Castian Atangi, and it kind of dribbled all the way to the wall, which allowed Williams to get up and come in and score the first run of the ball game. Now Howell's going to miss and move the count full at 3-2. Jen Saling's on at second base with nobody out here in the 6th. Swing and a miss by Williams, and that's out number 1 here in the 7th. Caitlin Inglesby will come up now.
I think the reason Howell's going to be effective here is it's such a change of pace from Paige Affleck to when she throws it hard, and she stops it slow. Howell seems to be somewhere in the middle. And Nikki Williams on that at bat went after what would have been ball 4, but wanted to protect the plate.
Caitlin Inglesby 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. First pitch way outside. And Saling almost drawing the throw from the catcher Fitu, who does not fire down to second base.
There was nobody covering, and Jen knew that, so she was ready to take off if they wanted to try and pick her off at second.
Next delivery swung on. There's a line drive. That's going to drop in for a base hit inside the line down left field, and also allow Jen Saling to come in and score and make it a 4-1 ball game. Caitlin Inglesby, an RBI single. He may be credited with a double. That thing got way down in the corner. She's standing on at second base. One way or the other, the Huskies now have a 4-1 lead on the RBI by Caitlin Inglesby.
And that's got to be just a stand-up double, Mike. She ripped that into the corner, and Carly Duckworth came up, made a throw, but Caitlin would have been able to walk in backwards to second base. That got in the corner, bounced around a little bit, and Caitlin Inglesby giving herself a little bit of breathing room.
Inglesby going to be lifted for pinch runner Whitney Jones, who will go in at second base. Still just 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Washington leading it 4-1. Morgan Stewart will step in now against the pitcher Hannah Howell. First delivery, high and outside. Hannah Howell, a righty. And as John said, quite a change of pace from Paige Affleck, who's out of the ball game after 6+ innings. Now the next pitch, and this one is a check swing down low. Didn't go around, and the count will be 2-0.
And I think Eakin went with his number 3 pitcher here because he wants to save both 1 and 2 for games later today.
BYU looking more and more like they're going to be playing another one tonight, as the pitch is a little bit inside. 3-0 to Morgan Stewart. If the Huskies do complete this victory, they play at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon in the championship round. BYU will have to play again tonight against either Auburn or Portland State. Those two teams will play in the game right after this one. Change-ups in for a called strike to make it 3-1 on Morgan Stewart.
Caitlin Inglesby hopefully is in the dugout, getting focused, ready to come out, because BYU's got offense. They can score. You've got to shut them out to win the game.
Pitch, check swing down in the dirt. They're going to peel down to the third base umpire, Brandon Bloom, who said she went around. So Morgan Stewart is not going to take first base. She's going to come back and have to see at least one more pitch from Hannah Howell.
I'm surprised they're going to Bloom, but first base umpires shifted over by second. So that's why all he saw was Morgan's back. Hard to make the call from that angle, but he did.
Now the full count pitch, swung on and missed. So certainly helped out Hannah Howell to get that call from Bloom up the third base line. 2 away. Whitney Jones stays put at second base, and now Shauna Wright will step in with the Huskies leading it again 4-1.
With a runner in scoring position and 2 out, be nice to see Shauna get another ball out there through the infield, pick up one more insurance run.
The pitch, swung on and missed, got way out in front of that changeup, 0-1. Huskies have struck out 9 times in this ballgame. Next pitch, way outside. It's 1-1. Paige Affleck striking out 7 Huskies, and now Howell in relief striking out a couple.
You know, Mike, you mentioned yesterday this could be a region where we see all 3 teams who are in it, because Auburn certainly has the goods to come out of the losers bracket.
Pitch swung on, ground ball foul up the third base line. That's right. They are the number 2 seed after all. And, you know, in most scenarios, the number 1 and 2 end up meeting in the championship round.
They've got 2 left-handed pitchers that they can rely on. They tried to go with their number 2 and beat BYU yesterday and save their number 1 for what they hoped would be this game. But that plan seemed to backfire on the Auburn Tigers.
Howell ready to get back to work finally, and the pitch on the way to Shauna swung on and grounded foul again.
It's a nice piece of hitting by Shauna there just to foul that off. She was ahead of the changeup again, but able to make contact and get it outside the lines and give herself another pitch.
Count is 1-2 on Shauna Wright. Runner on at second, 2 out. We're in the top of the 7th inning, and the pitch way outside to even the count at 2-2. Huskies leading it 4-1. After they're retired here in the top of the 7th, just 3 outs will separate them from picking up their second win of the regional. Here's the pitch from Howell. Swung on, high fly ball hit out of center field. Should be playable for Dugas. She'll make the catch right by the warning track for out number 3. But the Huskies pick up one more run here in the 7th on the RBI double by Caitlin Inglesby, and we'll go to the bottom of the inning with the score of Washington 4, the Cougars 1.
Craving the flavor of the big city? Don't want to make the drive, hassle with parking, or pay the premium? Then stop by 272 Grill and Bar in Covington. We're an upscale East Side restaurant bringing the flavors of downtown's finest restaurants to Covington. Come early for our bistro-style breakfast, have a quick and delicious lunch, dine the night away for dinner, or relax with friends in our bar with live music Fridays and Saturdays. Find us at 272grillandbar.com or visit us in Covington off Kent Kangley.
When your car needs service, you can trust the certified master technicians at Northwest Automotive. Whether your car needs repairs or just a routine oil change, the professionals at Northwest Automotive have the skill and experience to do the job right. Experience total auto care with the Northwest difference. Personal service, skilled technicians, and a nationwide warranty through AC Delco, valid at 12,000 locations in the U.S. and Canada. Northwest Automotive, proud to have served Husky fans for the last 20 years. See them online at cardocs.com. That's CARDOCS.com.
Well, the host Huskies are closing in on another victory here in the regional of the NCAA tournament, played right here at Husky Softball Stadium. I'm Mike Brown along with John Colley, and we're coming to you live on AM 1150 KKNW. Caitlin Inglesby in the circle, trying to finish off another complete game and another victory for Washington in this regional. They beat Portland State yesterday 6-2 and now lead 4-1. As Caitlin will go to work on the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the BYU lineup here in the 7th. Well, the Clouds have really taken over things upstairs. Started off with an extremely beautiful day here in Seattle. Now the Clouds just kind of filling up almost all of the sky. We see a little blue way out beyond the left field wall. But otherwise, it's all white, high cloudiness too. Not the type that looks like it's going to bring any rain, but you just never know around here.
Yeah, it's supposed to hold off, and tomorrow they're predicting could be showers, about 30% chance of showers. It looks like we're going to be able to get all our softball in, Mike.
So it's Castian Atangi leading things off and takes a pitch for a called strike from Caitlin Inglesby. Atangi responsible for the only BYU run as she hit an opposite field home run leading off the 5th, her 11th of the season. Atangi, a right-handed hitter, and the next pitch on the way to her is again a called strike on the outer edge of the plate.
And Caitlin got into a full count with Atangi and had to come in. Didn't want to walk her. That's when Atangi delivered that ball to the opposite field. Now getting out ahead, much different count for Caitlin Inglesby.
Here comes the Portland native's next pitch. Bounces in. Count 1-2.
Don't think we're going to see a rise ball here, Mike, because that's what Atangi got a hold of. It got up in her eyes.
Caitlin Inglesby, 6'1" freshman from Portland. Right-handed thrower. Back into her line. And the pitch on the way. It's going to miss high and outside. And even the count at 2-2.
I don't want to get to that full count again, so this would be a good time to go right at her. Saw something unusual. Don't see Caitlin shake off too many pitches from Shauna Reich, which are calls coming from Bear, Cindy Ball.
That could be a deliberate thing, too, to make it look like something's going on. There's a pitch way inside.
Well, it's that count again.
3-2. Caitlin does tend to throw quite a few pitches. Trying to get that leadoff hitter here. It's always a big momentum swing one way or the other, depending on what happens. The pitch swung on. There's a drive in the right field. Ashley Tuiasosopo has it played perfectly, though, and makes the catch for out number 1. Delaney Willard will be the hitter.
And Caitlin came in. She got more of the plate. Didn't want to walk the leadoff hitter with that 3-run lead, but kept it on the outside. Atangi not able to get it into her power zone. Sent it on a line, but Ashley Tuiasosopo moving over to make the play.
So Willard, the right fielder, to step in, left-handed hitter. And the first pitch on the way from Caitlin. Swung on, ground ball hit on one hop right at Nikki Williams. Willard just politely hitting it right in an easy spot for out number 2. And now the Cougars down to their final out of the ball game as Alexandra Hudson, the Everett native, will step in.
That was one of those nice bounces, too, the kind you don't even have to bend over to get. Bounced up waist high. Nikki made the nice catch, stepped on the base. 1 out away from moving into championship Saturday.
Hudson 0 for 2 in the ball game, and the first pitch there swung on, hit foul up the third base line. 0-1 on Hudson after Morgan Stewart fielded the ball.
Fielded the ball, made the throw. The Husky fans were a little excited, but no, that was foul all the way.
Now the 0-1 pitch from Inglesby. Change. That's in for a called strike, and she is 1 strike away from finishing off BYU in Game 2 of this regional.
Crowd getting up on their feet. Love to see this at Husky Softball Stadium.
Hoping to finish it off right here. Inglesby 1 strike from picking up another victory in this regional. She's into her 1 and the pitch on the way, and it's going to be outside. 1-2 on Alexandra Hudson.
Caitlin hasn't really experienced this part of Husky Softball Stadium. When you've got a full house, they're on their feet, they're clapping for you. The energy that gives you in the circle, just tremendous.
Hudson ready, and Inglesby now. Getting back into her line, comes to the plate with the 1-2. It's swung out and missed, and she gets a big strikeout to finish off another complete game here in the NCAA tournament. And she retires the side in order in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for the Cougars in the 7th. The final score, Washington 4, BYU 1. Back at the final totals after this timeout.
Are you looking for a late model car, pickup, SUV, or van? Then why not try the James G. Murphy Company Auctioneers? All of our vehicles are sold with no minimum bids or buyer's premium. And our next auction features over 200 late model vehicles. So don't miss this opportunity to bid on the vehicle of your choice. The James G. Murphy Company is located just off Bothell Way on 68th Avenue Northeast in Kenmore.
For more information about our next auction, call 425-486-1246 or see us on the web at murphyauction.com.
Trust. It's something that's earned, not given. If you're looking at having some remodeling done to your home, you want to work with a company you can trust. You can't afford not to. You want the services of Marquis Construction Company. For over 30 years, they've been serving the community with complete remodeling and alteration services. They've been earning Seattle's trust one home at a time. That's Marquis Construction Company. Find them in the Yellow Pages, and remember, they're proud to sponsor UW Athletics.
Youth violence, drugs, and gangs put our entire community at risk. By encouraging our children to participate in positive youth programs today, we'll help them develop the skills they need to become responsible citizens tomorrow. Supervised youth activities can give a youngster the confidence to say no to drugs. A message from McDonald Miller Facility Solutions, where we make buildings work. Find us online at macmiller.com. That's McDonald Miller Facility Solutions, encouraging you to support local sports and youth organizations.
For 57 years, Diamond Dog fans have chosen North Lake Tavern as their meeting place of choice. Where else can you find all your favorite beverages, pizza by the pound, and an enthusiastic group of staff and friends waiting to celebrate the next Husky victory? Stop by tonight. Please remember, 21 and older for inside dining. North Lake Tavern Pizza is conveniently located at the edge of the West Campus, the north end of Lake Union.
Find them online at northlaketavern.com. Let's go, dogs.
Well, a pretty big crowd here going to be leaving the ballpark happy after the Washington Huskies complete a 4-1 victory over the BYU Cougars here at Husky Softball Stadium. Welcome back. It's Mike Brown here along with John Colley on the post-game show. Let's give you the final numbers on the ball game. For the Huskies, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 9 runners left on base. For BYU, 1 run, 2 hits, 3 errors, and 3 runners left on base. Winning pitcher of the ball game, Caitlin Inglesby. She improves to 24-8, while Paige Affleck, the BYU starter, takes the loss. She's 25-12. We have no attendance figure because they do things in sessions here, and we won't know until the day is complete. But the game was played in 2 hours and 15 minutes. There's 1 home run hit in the ball game, that by Kastian Atange. It was a leadoff homer in the 5th. Her 11th of the season. With the victory, the Huskies improved to 36-14, and they will move into the championship round of this regional tomorrow and play at 2:30. Whoever they end up playing would have to beat them twice tomorrow to keep the Huskies from advancing to the Super Regional. For BYU, their record is now 39-17, and they'll have to play again tonight at 8 o'clock against either Portland State or Auburn, who will play each other in the game coming up next. The loser goes home. The winner goes on and plays BYU at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, the final, Washington 4, BYU 1. Back with more on the post-game show after this timeout.